Hola y bienvenidos a la World Series potential last three outs. If you're joining live on No Filter Network, we thank you. If you're joining live on Instagram, good evening to each and every one of you. You will get the unfiltered commentary of the last three outs here of the World Series, at least potential. Now, I'm hoping the Yankees don't shit all over themselves like they did in that fifth inning. Horrific. One of the worst innings I've ever seen in baseball at any level. I've coached 8U. I've coached 9U. I've coached 10U. I've coached 11U. But wait, there's more. I've coached 12U. And I am now currently coaching 13U baseball. What the Yankees pulled off in the fifth inning was one of the most disgusting things I'd ever seen in my entire life. That said, we're not about the past, we're about the now. Anthony Volpe, 2 for 4 today, has been swinging a hot bat, and you have Walker Buehler, of all people, coming on to close it out for the Dodgers. Chris Taylor has taken over in left field. This is their best defense. So, on that note, here we go. 1-0 pitch to Volpe. Fastball, clearly a strike. Now, this umpire has been very, let's just say, hitter generous. There's been some strikes called balls. You typically don't see that. 7-6 Dodgers. Bottom 9, game 5. End of the bat job by Volpe on a breaking ball. Hello, everybody. Tony, what is up? Michael, what is up? Snyder, hello. I'm live on No Filter Network, and if you're not here for the World Series, who gives a fuck? Because you're here for the Bills hat. Is there a better hat that's ever been made than this Buffalo Bills hat? I didn't think so. All right, 1 ball, 2 strikes to Volpe. Walker Buehler the pitch. Fastball up and away. Volpe was part of the inning that made me throw up. I couldn't watch anymore. I turned my Wi-Fi on. I'm done. I can't watch this. It's like going by a car wreck and I don't want to look. I'm good. Volpe, ground ball, third base. Max Muncy has it. Fires across, 1 out. So, let's go back to that inning. And at least we'll do that until the Yankees potentially force some sort of rally right here. It started with Aaron Judge. And look, it's a very simple message. And look, they're always talking about this. The 3 errors, Cole fails to cover first base. Yeah, we got that. This is a routine fly ball. And one of the other things I was telling my kids tonight, I'm not sure I've ever seen it. Not a fly ball that easy at the big league level actually missed. And you could see what happened, though, where Judge was here and he took his eyes off the ball, right? He was looking at first base and he ends up dropping the baseball. We're all human. Shit happens. I get it. But it wasn't even about that. As a 96 mile per hour touched the bottom of the zone, called a ball. So you have Austin Wells up 0 for 3 tonight. Mookie Betts, the sacrifice fly. I mean, it's so anticlimactic if we ends up winning the World Series on a sacrifice fly. But when Judge took his eye off the ball, it just, you can't do it. One of the things I preach, and I'll tell it, every team I've ever coached at any level, never take your eye off the fucking baseball, ever, never. Eye on the ball, always. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Wells. Ground ball foul. Look at the bigote, though. If you can't appreciate what Austin Wells has been doing in this postseason, and he's had a terrific year. Credit Jose Trevino for being the ultimate backup and really supporting Wells. His mustache, that upper lip lettuce that he's got, that's as good as it gets. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Wells, ball down. You need a base runner here. You really need a base runner. It's everything. 3-2 count. Again, Walker Buehler, who's not used to coming out of the bullpen, here to close it out. The semi-Fu Manchu up to bat. Oh, he got him with a curveball. Wow. I mean, Walker Buehler looks like a stone cold fucking killer right now, too. Look at him. I mean, just relaxed, calm, confident, all the above. This could go down as one of the worst losses in the history of baseball. Not just New York Yankees. When you're up 5-0, you have a 93% chance to win the game. And then you just gift it to him. Here's Dave Roberts, UCLA Bruin. Let's give it up for the Bruins. Bruins are winners. Garrett Cole, winner. Unfortunately, he didn't have the team behind him tonight. Here's Alex Verdugo, 93-mile-per-hour cutter. That was filthy. Buehler's featuring some nasty shit right now. They're just 1 out away from the 2024 World Series. 7-6 Dodgers. Big curveball, swing and a miss. Now just 1 strike away. Verdugo looks like he has no chance at the moment. You got to feel for Booney a little bit. He's a SC guy. Never mind. Fuck him. 1-2 pitch. See ya! And there it is. The Los Angeles Dodgers have won the World Series. And as much as I would love to say that they won this series, the Yankees gave it to them. This was one of the most memorable and worst performances I've ever seen. I don't know how long it's going to take to get over this in New York. I mean, I guess you just move on. Aaron Judge, I love the fact that he came back. He hit the home run. Walker Buehler's a kid from Vanderbilt. Let's celebrate the Dodgers for a second. I don't want to go negative. Let's keep it all positive. Freddie Freeman, everything that he did, although he didn't hit a home run today. I mean, can we get a homer, Freddie, please? Dave Roberts, Bob Guerin, embracing huge hugs. So cool. Anthony Volpe, great night last night, kid. You should have made the play tonight. You want to win a World Series, you got to make the fucking play. There's a ground ball in the hole. He got it through to third. Short hop, Jazz Chisholm. That's a whole other subject. You want me to go off on here? Like, he hit the homer tonight. I get it. The Yankees were one of the least fundamentally sound baseball teams I've ever seen. The fact they got to this point, it's beyond me. And I'm not throwing my wife under the bus right here, but she's like, Aaron Boone, did he not have him ready to play? And is this the manager's fault? I don't know. I've coached teams before where I thought that potentially, this is my fault that they're making errors. You try to put your guys in a position to succeed. But if you can't make a play, you can't make a fucking play. There's nothing you can do about it. I can't go on the field for the kids. Aaron Boone could not go on the field for the Yankees. And as much as we're going to talk about the Dodgers in this World Series and how great it was, oh, man, just a colossal failure by the New York Yankees. I'm sorry. If you guys know me, you follow me on IG, you're watching on No Filter Network right now. Thank you, by the way. Fire away in the chat. I'm trying to figure out the chat here from the Instagram perspective, and we could have a conversation. We could start reading some of this stuff. But really, I think more than anything, what this World Series taught me was that by far and away, the Dodgers were a better baseball team. It's not even close. Not even close. And by the way, we're brought to you by Bet Online, the #1 online gambling destination. So if you laid any action on this tonight and you took the Yankees and you were up 5-0, it's called Bad Beats. You can catch it on ESPN with Scott Van Pelt every Sunday night. I mean, this is a terrible beat. Horrible. It's almost as bad as if you had the under in game 1 of the World Series. Think about that one. Game 1 of the World Series, you end up going to extra innings. It was 2-1 Yankees. You end up going to extra innings. I think it was tied 2-2. And then there ended up being 9 runs scored before it was all said and done with the grand salami by Freddie Freeman. But I got to believe that would have been a 99% success rate for the under at that point. Regardless, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me here. But the Dodgers are the more likable team. And it's not even really close. Freddie Freeman is possibly the most lovable baseball player of all time. I'm not sure who I could think of. I mean, if you guys have some suggestions, fire away in the chat. Okay, here we go. Yes, Trent. Yes, we should be discussing pickleball at this point. Great games at the convention center today. We're sorry to miss you. Somebody actually asked me about Trent Tucker. And I said, oh, is Trent coming to the convention center today? And the answer to that was, no, I don't think he plays pickleball anymore. So anyhow, Walker Buehler, Vanderbilt University. Look at the poise on his face. They figured out how to slow the game down. Apparently, the Yankees did not. And it was one thing that led to the other. Okay, let's talk about the Anthony Rizzo situation at first base, Garrett Cole not covering. So there were 3 huge mistakes that happened. The first one, Aaron Judge, eyes off of the baseball, boom, clanks it. He also could have gotten up, fired a dart to second base, and still potentially gotten Verdugo. It did not happen. Okay, so sort of error 1 is error 2. The next one that happens, you have runners at first and second. The ground ball to Anthony Volpe in the hole. Now, Volpe's a good shortstop. Very good shortstop. Made a sick double play last night. I like him there. I don't love him there. I like him there. Backhands the ball, throws to third base, short hops Jazz Chisholm. Jazz, pick the fucking ball. Pick the ball. It's it's not that hard. Pick the ball. Pick your shortstop up. He did not. So that was the egregious error number 2. And then number 3 was the ground ball to first base. I almost don't even want to show you guys this. I can't actually because I have my phone. I got my computer. And once again, we are live on No Filter Network. You're getting this shit in real time. This here, 20, 30 seconds delayed, whatever you're getting on Instagram. But we decided to include you because this was such a big moment. But the ground ball was capped to first base. Mookie Betts hit it. Runs well, obviously. Boom. As soon as he hits it, he's busted his ass down the line. Now, Rizzo does a good job staying down. When a ball's capped, it's spinning. Gets it, secures it. In his mind, and this is where he really fucked up, he thought, well, of course, Cole's going to be covering first base. Not the case. Cole ran directly to the line, sort of how you teach pitchers to do it. Run to the line, then run up the line. If you ask me, I think Cole shut it down because he ran to the line and he thought for sure Anthony Rizzo was going to take the ball, run to first base. There was so much distance in between where Rizzo was to the bag and Mookie Betts to the bag. The other thing was Cole was late to the party. So if Cole's late to the party and he runs over there and then he tries to race Mookie Betts up the line, I'd rather have my first baseman get it, bust his ass. Well, that's where the whole thing got screwed up. Anthony Rizzo got it. ran over to first, it didn't even attempt to run to first base. I take that back. And Betts was safe by a mile. So, anyhow, that is it. I'm going to assume Freddie Freeman's the MVP. I don't know if they've announced this already or not, but I don't even, when I think back of this World Series, I'm certainly going to remember it. But the only thing that I could think of is like what could have been. This was going back to LA, right? Yamamoto was going to be on the mound. The Yankees were going to piece together whatever the Yankees could piece together. And if they somehow pulled off a miracle, I think they would have been heavy underdogs in game 6. Then I do think you would have seen Cole in some capacity come back for game 7. But all of that was fucking blown up by complete and total incompetency on a baseball field. There's no other way to put it. There really isn't. It was one of the worst displays that I've ever seen. And I feel like this is almost like a therapeutic session because I'm so positive in life. I'm always, right? Like, yeah, I wrote a book right here. It's called Let Them Play, a parenting and coaching guide to youth sports. And throughout this, I give all different examples of like shit that'll come up and how we deal with it, and how we deal with kids and how we deal with parents. And I think I'm going to have to add a chapter here. I'm going to have to add some. I don't know. I guess if you're the Yankees, what do you do? Like, how do we regroup and recoup from this? Aaron Judge isn't going anywhere. He's still one of the best hitters in all of baseball. It was good to see him get back locked in. Like, he certainly found it. I watched his at-bats last night, and there was a pitch, a breaking ball down and away they took like this, right? Just so smooth. And I'm like, whoa, this doesn't look like a guy who's struggling. And then there was a foul ball that he hit. Head out right there. I'm like, yeah, man, he's got it. This is happening. So, anyhow, to see that translate to the base hit last night, to the home run tonight, kudos to Aaron Judge for that. Let's not forget, too, he made a really nice play up against the wall earlier in the game. I'm pretty sure, I don't know who hit it. Never mind. Who cares? But then later in the game, there was the ball hit by Teoscar Hernandez that ended up hitting off the wall. And as a former outfielder who played at this level, right, as soon as that ball was hit, this might sound really weird to all of you, but in my mind, I was thinking to myself, like, great swing. That's a fucking out. No doubt about it. Well, Judge's route, and I know this because I took way too many of them, was, ready? Back like this, and then this. So, from an outfielder's perspective, he's playing on the other side of second base. And he goes, boom, opens up, and he's running this way, and now he starts running back. As soon as he cut that off, it would have taken a miracle catch for him to be able to make the play on Teoscar Hernandez's ball. But now as we sit here, a couple hours later, and we go back and think about how the fuck did this possibly go wrong for the Yankees, he makes that play. It's the game. It's a play that no one is really even going to talk about. But it's a play that, as a former big league outfielder, I'm looking at, I'm like, whoa, took that wrong first step. And how do I know it? I took way too many wrong first steps. And I would have to rely on my athleticism to come back and close out the play. And sometimes I did, and sometimes I didn't. This game's really, really fucking hard, folks. It's not easy. It is not easy at all. So I get it. But at the same time, you wonder if the pressure of New York just got to when shit started to collapse, one thing after the other. And then remember this, and I always tell our let them play kids this. Pick up the guy next to you. If he's not getting it done, you get it done. So if Aaron Judge, who's been your MVP, who you guys are not there in the postseason, in the World Series without him, for whatever reason, makes a mistake, be the fucking dude that says, nah, man, I'm going to pick you up. I got you. So if you're Anthony Volpe and you hit that ball in the hole like that, just whack. Fire it there, man. Fire it. If you're Anthony Rizzo and you get that ball over you, your first thought is not, I'm going to flip the ball to first base. No, I'm going to stick my nose in it, and then I'm going to bust my balls to go over and tag first base. Oh, man. Anyhow. By the way, if you haven't tried Deckies, these are phenomenal. Caffeine pouches. I know. You guys probably think I had too many of these tonight, but I'm running off of actually, just a little white wine and natural fuel. Typically, I'll dive into tequila, but, I mean, what night is it? Wednesday? Yeah. Weekends. Regardless, if you have not joined us on No Filter Network, Daily Hustle happens each and every single morning. Here's Kevin Burkhardt and Dave Roberts and, I don't know, the rest of the crew there. I wonder if they could bring up the whole analytical team. Get every geek up there on stage. Give them a lot of credit. Everyone wants to give the geeks like a really hard time. Fuck that, man. Hey, these guys are working. They're working hard. Good evening, Paige. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Look, the bottom line is this. The Dodgers were the best baseball team this season. Hands down, no question about it. But what we had to witness tonight was something that's going to take a long time to get out of my head. It was just bad. Really, really bad. And can we get a double sky point, by the way? Fernando Valenzuela. It's the Dodgers. He passed away right before all this. A double sky point. Vin Scully. Some of the legends of the game not with us. And the Dodgers finally winning their first real World Series since 1988. And Dodger fans, fuck off too. Like, I don't need to hear it. Oh, we won in 2020. Yeah, I mean, you guys won a tournament. You guys go play a baseball tournament. It's like LTP going down to Huntington Beach. Yeah, we took down Huntington Beach. Cool. This is a real season. This is a real one. You guys got this. Double thumbs up to each and every one of you. Fish in life. What's up, dude? Yeah, look. With all of these things that have transpired in this entire postseason, don't get me wrong. Like, I love baseball. I really, really love baseball. And that's why I wanted the Yankees to win. But after watching this performance tonight, I don't know if I could take it another night. Like, once I saw the fifth inning, they could have called the game and said, that's it. It's over. Forget about it. What a ride, though. Really, really fun. Daily Hustle, 8 a.m., typically Monday through Friday. Will the Thrill and I go on every Tuesday if you want to catch Deuces Wild. It's also on Apple. It's on Spotify. All the different platforms. It does say second World Series title as Dodgers manager. I don't know exactly what he's saying. Thank you, Yankees. Thank you, Aaron Judge. As far as last night is concerned, and let's address this, and then I'm just done. It's time to go to bed. But, I take that back. It's time to go downstairs and play some ping pong. But, I want you guys to realize what transpired last night was one of the things that I look at in my life. And I think to myself, what would you do in that moment? And I'm talking about the fan interaction. And the fan was sitting there on the side, and he has a space, and he talked to his buddy before they went there, and they're like, "Look, Yanks are down. We're down. Was it 3-0 at the time? 3-0. We got to protect our space. Now, are we going to go onto the field and grab any kind of ball? No. But we have these season tickets here. This is our spot. And if a ball comes into our spot, it's our responsibility to protect this house." And so this guy, Austin, and his boy decide that's what they're going to do. And here comes a ball. Here comes Mookie Betts. And true to their words, they said, "We're going to D up." And Austin, who went to University of Arizona, according to Ron Gronkowski, and used to party with him, grabs the glove, reaches into the glove, and then tosses it out of there. The buddy, and this was really kind of creepy, but the buddy steps in there, and he like fucking grabs Mookie's hand. You're like, ugh. Like, okay, that's kind of weird, but what are you doing? But then Mookie just slides down, and that's it. The umpire was right there. Security was right there. Everybody was fine. No harm, no foul, all good. I get it. If you're the fan, most likely you're going to get thrown out of the game. It's something that comes with the territory. But the reaction that transpired after that, mainly from the media and everybody on the outside who just freaked out. Now, I posted in an initial video last night. I literally was watching this in real time. I'm like, oh, what happened? I'm like, oh, this might be interesting. And I turned the camera on, and I'm filming my TV. And this was my honest first live reaction. Like, whoa. Mookie goes into the stands. He catches the ball. And then the fan rips the ball out of his glove. I'm like, well, holy shit. At least the Yankees fans got some fight in them. And that was somewhat inspirational. Now, if you actually look at it, and I can see if you're MLB, you're like, oh, this is totally unnecessary. This is unacceptable. But the people are calling for this fan, this super fan, like to be imprisoned for ripping a ball out of a glove that essentially was placed on his lap. Fuck off. That's so stupid. If you want to imprison anybody, it would have been his buddy who was doing this skin-on-skin thing with Mookie. That was the one thing, that really got me. And so the fan escorted out, and there was a reporter from Sports Illustrated that tracked him down in a bar across the street from Yankee Stadium at 2:30 in the morning, where he then divulged his whole thing, right? He's just like, hey, look, this was our game plan. We went to D up. This is where all the quotes started coming from. And then Rob Gronkowski, the legendary Hall of Fame tight end of the New England Patriots, and well, I guess you could say Tampa Bay Bucks, gets on there, and he's on his morning show that he does. I don't know if it's on YouTube or wherever it is. And he's like, yo, by the way, here's a fun fact, side fact. And he just casually drops this. He goes, I went to school with that dude. I went to school. Wait, what? University of Arizona. The guy played club hockey. And he's a fucking maniac. And Gronkowski went so far as to say congratulations to the guy. He goes, it was your one moment to shine, and you shined. So I just love that story about it. MLB, along with the Yankees, banned him from Yankee Stadium in Game 5. They then gave his tickets away. I thought this was cool. All right, there's part of it I thought was cool. They gave his tickets away to a kid who apparently has cancer. And I don't want to get too much to the details because I don't really know the details. But they gave these tickets to, the 2 tickets to this kid and his family. Cool. Hold on a second, though. Do you guys hear what I said? They were his tickets. Those were Austin's tickets. If anything, this would have been a really cool opportunity for the Yankees not to ostracize the fans. And you don't have to celebrate them, but basically, hey, we've talked to Austin. He's a loyal season ticket holder. Apologize for his actions from last night, and collectively we've agreed to hand these tickets out to this kid and his family. That would have been the right move. So if you wonder why the baseball gods pissed on the New York Yankees tonight, it's because the Yankees tried to pull this holier-than-thou bullshit and ended up screwing it up. And Cho, good evening, Cho. Hope Jackson and Jagger and the boys and Jamie are doing great. Anyhow, that's about it. I love you guys. It was a fantastic baseball season. I would say fantastic World Series, but it was, tonight was rough, man. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Even if you're a Dodger fan, and I know, Cho, you're a Dodger fan, but seriously, I mean, that was just tough to watch. If you didn't feel bad or feel like crawling under a rock at some point, no matter what fan you are, if you didn't feel that like ibby jibby, like you're not human. You're a fucking AI robot. That's it. You got to be 1,000%, because that was terrifying. Whatever you see, whatever haunted house you go to, tomorrow night is Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody. November 2nd, Day of the Dead, if you celebrate that. Today was the death of the Yankees. And where do they go from here? I don't even know. How do you get better baseball players? Like, the Juan Soto thing's interesting. You lost him. I don't think Juan Soto's coming back. Juan Soto's going to look at this, and the irony of all of it is that Juan Soto's a dog shit defender himself. Doesn't run the bases well. Best thing John Smoltz ever said in his commentary. And it was, Smoltz is Smoltz. He likes to talk about Smoltz. But this time he was actually talking about Juan Soto and his leads off of first base. And they're terrible. Terrible. So it makes me wonder, okay, if you're Aaron Boone, if you're the Yankees coach, like, how do you fix that? Like, they've watched this all year. If you're not maximizing leads, if you're not fighting for every inch, what are we doing? Are the Dodgers perfect in the sense of fundamental baseball? No. But they're pretty fucking good. They do the little things right. They take good leads. They get good jumps. They're positioned appropriately. Shout out to all the geeks and the algorithms and everything else that give the boys the note card and tell them exactly where to stand. And they have guys like this. Aaron Judge isn't that far. Oh, well, look at Freddie Freeman all jacked up giving Derek Jeter a hug. I mean, how Big Papi is stoked. You know why? Big Papi's like, yes, I get to go home. I'm done. It's over. A-Rod's just like, well, I just want the camera on me. And Derek Jeter, look at him. I think this actually fucking hurts. I think Derek Jeter cares. So this might mean something. Really, if you think about it. This is a guy that's bothered by the fact that the Yankees lost. This is a guy that doesn't give two fucks. Now, Freddie is by far and away, and I said this earlier, so if you've been with us this whole time, forgive me. He is the most likable guy that has ever played the game of baseball, period. From a superstar perspective. Name me another superstar. Derek Jeter probably would have been one of those guys, but he played for the fucking Yankees. You can say, well, Freddie plays for the Dodgers. You know why Freddie plays for the Dodgers? Freddie plays for the Dodgers because he begged to go back to Atlanta, and he tried everything in his power to get a deal done, but the agent fucked it up. And he ended up with the Dodgers instead of re-signing with Atlanta. Atlanta got Matt Olson. I read an article today about Chipper Jones. it wasn't about Chipper Jones. It was Chipper Jones talking about how, look, we tried to bring Freddie back, and he was talking basically for the Braves. And he goes, the agent didn't happen, and the agent was Casey Close. I like Casey Close. Good guy. But you knew all this went south when Freddie fired Casey Close right after. He's a man of faith. Blessing in disguise, certainly. Freddie Freeman going home, Orange County, grew up there, to be able to win the World Series with the Dodgers. And I don't know. I mean, if he grew up in Orange County, he probably grew up an Angels fan, right? Watching Troy Gloss and the boys take it down in 2002. But there is something to the Southern California element in all of this. And he's where he's supposed to be. I saw a clip on him, and he went through some major adversity with his son, Max, I believe, who had some sort of neurological disorder, missed a significant amount of time this year attending to that. And on top of that, for the grand slam the other night, the fact that he hits it, and it's really interesting because if you're at Dodger Stadium, right, a left-handed hitter, boom, he hits it, and to the right is a visitor's dugout. And most of the guys these days, they hit their bombs, they look to their own dugout, do some kind of chest bump thing, throwing gang signs everywhere, whatever. But they do their thing, and then they make their loop around the bases. Well, Freddie hit his, boom, and he turned to the other side. Yet he wasn't looking in the Yankees dugout. He was looking up in the stands where his family was, where his wife was, where his kids were, and where his dad was. As a dad now, as someone whose dad passed away and was so instrumental in my baseball career, that hit home. And after it was all said and done and the hoopla, you see Freddie run over to the screen, and it's just like grabbing the net with his dad, Fred Freeman. So there's Fred and Freddie. And then Freddie goes on the post-game interview, and he shouts out his brothers who he played wiffle ball with in the backyard, and he dreamt up that scenario. And then he shouted out his dad, and he gave Fred all sorts of love, and he talked about the endless batting practice and the swing that Fred shaped to. I mean, that's a special swing. Yeah, like you do. That, I mean, there's a natural element to that. But this dude pulls his hands inside better than anyone I've ever seen. I cannot think of another baseball player. And what I mean is here, right? So a normal swing would be here. You're here. You kind of come out this way, whatever. And so if you want to pull this in, this becomes really hard to do. It's kind of unnatural. It's an unnatural movement. Well, for Freddie, I think, he's here, and it's just because of how he holds the bat, this comes here, and he's able to get that barrel out as good, if not better, than anyone that I've ever seen. Barry Bonds, another one, obviously, he's here, and his head would stay behind the ball straight. Phew. So that was the only other guy that I could even think of when I was talking about this on the Daily Hustle on No Filter Network the other day. That was it. That was the only other guy that, in my opinion, could get to that inside fastball. Yet, you saw the Yankees, and it was Nestor Cortez in Game 1. And then in Game 2 and Game 3, it's like, have we not learned our lesson? You can't get in Freddie's kitchen. Quit trying to go in there. All right. I'm done. I love you guys. Everyone, Have a good night's sleep. Let's celebrate the Bills hat one more time. And if you're just a good sports fan in general, are there many things in life that'll make you happier than this? Just, an Earl Campbell signed Houston Oilers helmet is everything. We just celebrate sports here. Celebrate life. Life Optimization Podcast. Daily Hustle, 8 a.m. No Filter Network. You can find it on Apple, Spotify, everywhere else. And by the way, if you're listening on that, because this is a special IG Live edition, if you're listening on that or you do go to that, if you guys can leave a review, leave some comments, it certainly helps. All right. Everyone have a fantastic night. The Yankees, I don't know. Yeah, you guys you'll come back. You're the fucking Yankees. It's going to be a long off season. Dodgers, congratulations. Fundamentally sound, solid baseball. All right. One last thing for each and every one of you before we sign off here. It's kind of a signature. See ya! Yeah! And if you're still with us on No Filter Network, good shit. All right. Have a good night. See ya!